Hello, how you guys doing? This show is coming to you live to record, a live audio and visual podcast and live show. We'd like to ask you to keep all inorganic noise such as cell phones and talking.
You guys,
to a
your next
minimum,
portion
or a
of the
vibration that
show
sounds
is
like
going
good
to
old
incorporate
organic
guests.
Relax.
Can
You're
you
welcome.
believe it?
You're
We're
welcome.
gonna have
Welcome to the
guests in
show.
here. What? Oh, wow. Yes, we got the next portion of the show.
I got a bit about that, trying to keep my
Challenge
I
each
got a
other
bit about
as
that, I don't sleep in a
to
dream,
do
got a bit about
comedy
that. I can never
during
really
the
got a bit about that.
podcast.
I'm shake on fit, I got a bit
Somebody
about
asked
that.
me
I'm
what
the
the
first nigga
podcast
that got a bit
was,
about that. My mind is a hit, I got a
and
bit
I was
about
like,
that.
it's legitimately
Got a bit
a
about that.
podcast.
About Mars, got a bit
The
about
only difference from this podcast to every other one
I got a bit
is
about
being
that.
able to organically shift from being a podcast into a stand-up comedy. Like the only difference is still comedians talking about nothing but shit. Legitimate, out live show. This portion will be on the free feed. That's right. It'll come out next Friday on free feed Friday. Yeah.
Free feed. Wait, what? Man, oh my God. My list came out horribly just now. I will shut up and try and say this in my head before I say it again. What is it?
Free feed Friday.
Free feed Friday.
Free feed Friday.
Shit, that took
Hell yeah.
so much focus. You know, you want to hear less focus? Free Friday. That's what I'm saying. My list. I'm sorry.
Coming up, we have a comedian who's a part of Young Funny, which is the comedy group in New Orleans of mostly black peoples, put together by amazing comic.
And you say it like you're not a part of it.
I am a part of it.
But you didn't include yourself in the introduction of what Young Funny was or is.
Says a non-young funny.
Yeah, you are Young Funny.
Oh, shout it now.
He didn't include
Yeah,
himself
I know
though.
who I
The
am.
audience don't know he's part of Young Funny.
You know who I am? I'm notjustme.com. That's right, I'm notjustme.com, Lord Byron Productions. That's why I made that
You're
website.
smart. That was a big plug. God
I
damn.
know, that's why I made it like that. Because I was like, I'm metaphysical. But what all is self? What website can I get? When I die, I'm going to be incarnated as disincarnation. When I die, I'm going to be I'm going to be chance incarnate or discarnate. So I was just went with I'm not just me. I was like a shortcut, metaphysically.
Chance and Carn is just an
Easier
8-ball.
to type in the address bar.
Definitely easier. Definitely. I'm getting ready to do introduction music for your young, funny comedian and guest of tonight, Flash Flood episode. Please give it up for Kamari Stevens.
It'd be a black man hate, but that might be the best intro music ever, son. Better than mine's 30 minutes earlier than this.
Where you gonna go and make things so complicated? And feeling like hold on, it's gonna get to the chorus. Here we go. Watching your back, like you can't relax. Trying to be cool, to look like a fool to me.
To me. Yeah. World's greatest. Oh, wait a minute. I think somebody called me on the. Oh, that's my auntie.
Can I talk to my auntie real quick? Hey, auntie.
You're on speakerphone right now. Hey, TD.
Yeah. It was a little flooding earlier. I'm cool. Nothing flooded where I'm at, particularly. We got this hurricane or tropical storm coming, but we're trying to hold it off with positive energy. Right now, I'm actually doing this weird thing with my friends. We're doing like a little podcast. Can I call you back? All right, everything as far as I done got groceries and stuff like that. We're in a pretty high spot. I mean, relatively speaking, it is all sinking. But yeah. But I'll holler at you. All right, later. All right, peace. All right, welcome Kamari up here. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna give you. So can we just open this? I'm gonna just make this.
Yes.
Here, take this. Hold on, this one I'm gonna do. So I mean, how long have you been smoking weed, Byron? When did you start smoking weed?
Since college, which would be like 6 years ago.
When you came on stage asking us questions, you had questions.
Motherfucker, I do what I want.
Oh yeah.
But nah, yeah, I was. I know I was trying to make this shit quality podcast. And YouTube streaming. So you said 6 years ago, so 2013.
Yeah, I don't really think about the years, but I guess it would be 13.
See, the only reason not because it's like this was the time. Like I can't tell you a specific date.
Oh wow.
But I mean, well, it's like versus like when I smoked weed the first time versus when I really started smoking. Those are different days.
Right.
Days. But like, so you say 6 years you've been like a weed
probably
smoker.
been 7 to 8.
Okay.
I'm just guessing on I've done comedy for about 5, and I was in Lafayette when I started, so it's like more years than 5. So probably 7.
And
Man.
You
Yes.
How long you been smoking weed, Rochelle?
1997.
Oh, that's cool. That's what's up. How about you, James?
So you've been smoking since you were 2?
Yeah, babe. Thank you.
Wow.
Ain't nothing boom like that.
Rolling blood. Hey.
Oh, how long you been smoking, James?
Like 4 years.
Okay.
5 years.
I think
I'm 31, like real shit.
let's see, I want to say I started like 2010, 2011. That's when it was like on some like all the time kind of shit. And so the first thing I got, which is like funny because it's like sometimes I'll be thinking, I'm like, man, I've been smoking weed for like a long time. I mean, not the, because it was a very point in my life where I never planned on smoking weed or doing any kind of drugs. So I mean, for me to be like damn near 10 years in on the weed smoking and not slowing down, no time soon. But and then also partaking in other things, not too bad. But shout out all the other drugs. Your shrooms, your psilocybin shrooms, your LSD. I don't know all the word for that one. Your DMT. I haven't done DMT, but I want to. The dimethylphenidate or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Not to mention. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker might mess with some mescaline one of these days. I had a young lady offer me ketamine, but it's one of those situations where I don't trust you well enough to do this ketamine with you, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like drip.
And it's a disassociative drug.
Yeah.
And it was with a young lady, like, we was cool. I think we still are cool, but it was on that level where it's like, we don't do this often. I ain't trying to do no shit where we disassociate.
Did you know?
That's how you get jammed up, is when disassociation happens with friends.
If someone asked me what the fuck ketamine was, I'd be like, is that a species of caterpillar? What the fuck is that? How did you know
It's
what
like
the fuck
dog,
that was?
it's like dog tranquilizer or some shit. Horse tranquilizer. That's what
Is it because I'm from New Orleans? I don't know.
Yeah,
is that Ohio thing? Is
like your white one.
It's a drug thing, man. If you like,
it's a drug. See, the thing is, it's like
looking for drugs.
now, especially now that I've been out here. First of all, the first time I heard about anybody doing ketamine was before I got down here. But if you like into like Hunter S. Thompson, or any of these William S. Burroughs, all these like. Well, and I'm naming white men because they're allowed to be freer in the world. But I know it's black people that's out here doing this shit. They just not getting recognized for it. So maybe I could be the first nigga out here recognized for being like, a cool drug addict, not like one of these junkies. One of my favorite songs that I found out about since I got down here, Junko Partner.
Junko.
Partner. It's a whole bunch of Professor Long Hair's done it. Dr. John, my favorite. It's a song they covered. So Junko Partner. But my favorite version of it is by James Hooker or James Booker. James Booker with the eye patch. Bayou Maharaja or whatever. I'm fucking this all up. But
I don't know facts.
Junko Partner. I like the song with him because he was like known as a real great piano player, but he's also like, a dope fiend and stuff. So when he's like, and the cocaine, like and he's about it. It's like one of them. It's like a pro-drug song, but it's not like. I just like pro-drug songs from eras that's not now. Because everybody gets all the rappers they're talking about doing all this promethazine stuff. Motherfuckers been talking about doing drugs for a long. Like one of my favorite joints, Champagne.
I'm a joker.
Champagne and Reefer, Muddy Waters. That's blues. Champagne and Reefer, that's another good one. That's blues. That's like in the 50s. You know what I mean? 50s, 60s. So like, fucking all them blues, all the blues people was getting down. Louis Armstrong was smoking.
Back in the days, like everything was more romanticized.
And then if you go to like some little medicine shit down in the French Quarter, where like opium was a thing that we were administering as doctors. You know what I mean? So even all the shit, a lot of the drugs that have been criminalized has to be related to where they came from and the people that was profiting off of them. You know what I mean? But
the Negro spiritual was about drugs. Let the voices sing. Let there be voice sing till earth and heaven. Earth, bringing earth. What comes from earth? Grain. What's in the heavens? What we made you do? It's a cloud.
Moses.
It's about weed. I'm telling you, man.
Moses was talking to a burning bush.
Yes.
Well, that's what the Rasta. I got my drink.
I got the hallelujah spirit on them. Yes, nigga. Yes.
So this is the cigarette roller, and we have tobacco in here. All right. These are tobacco papers. We have tobacco in this cigarette roller, just the American way. And what you do is you fill the tobacco up in here as much as you want, so you don't want it to get it too high, but you want to fill it where it's all flush, right? And then what you do is you clamp these.
I apologize for this, but they are non-connected.
Now, some of it, your paper.
It's a weed commercial.
I
mean tobacco commercial.
So the one thing that we dealing with, your paper is a little too big for your cigarette roll. Let's see if I can put it in this one. But I didn't mean to delay your show, Byron.
Oh no, there's no delays.
You rip it a little bit?
We are live to record.
Hold on. All right, you hold this.
Also, I got a new memory card.
This is what I used to have to do too.
I have
because I had a small, because they got, they got the different size. You can get the king size.
Bending the corner.
I got a king size one back at the crib, I think.
I got a king size one right now.
Can you do that same?
Because the joke fell, but that was truth in that.
It's true. I have an adequate size one. It gets the job done just nicely.
True.
Also,
okay. All right.
Kind of lingus for the win.
All right.
Ooh, okay. All right.
I mean, from what I've read, tongues are more equipped to handle that equipment down there than penis.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you're rubbing your penis on the clit.
That is true.
But not on the clit, but can your tongue fill in all the gaps on the inside of the pussy?
But
That's
see,
what
the
I'm
thing
saying.
is, most of the nerve
Is
endings.
your tongue like an anteater? It can get all up in there and all
Well,
up.
The thing is, the perfect dick will have a tongue on it. You know what I mean? And
Like
it's,
strapped to the top.
yeah, and they would prefer, or no, I can't say that. I don't know personally, but at
Dick with a
least,
tongue. Oh my God!
but at least,
I wish I had that.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie. Like, oh my God!
I'm saying,
I'll
if you
never
put
get
out,
on it.
if
Like,
you put out a dick with a tongue, a woman would be way more, or any person with a vagina would be way more interested in you.
I wish that I was someone who could suck my own dick. Because you know why? I'll be someone who will fuck and also lick the pussy at the same goddamn time. I am not that motherfucker. I wish I could lick pussy and fuck at the same time. I be wishing
Well, see, that's why you do the lick and your finger. But
Yeah, you know what? That was a very
But
cool
the pleasure of a hard pressed tongue with like cat bulbs on it.
That was a cool
if
concept,
something.
James. I've seen videos of dudes sucking their own dick, but I've never seen a video of that same dude.
I should be a
girl.
porn director.
Wow.
I just invented something
All
right now. Oh my God, I'm on to something.
Okay,
Yeah.
so people are paying
Contortionist.
attention. When I rip the piece off, I put it in there, and then you just roll it, and then once you get it to this area, you lick it, and then you do that.
Did you lick it?
Yeah, I lick it.
Okay, cool.
I lick
Wait,
it.
you lick the paper or the roller?
I lick the paper.
No, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know things.
The sticky part of the paper is soft. That is nice.
Legal tobacco cigarette stick. There you go. That's for you. Now, the thing about it is, I don't want to go. I don't want to be overzealous. Now, it might be a little bit the drag off of this. So because it's tight.
Might be hard to get it on the paper.
No. I'm just saying, like, it might be a little bit harder to drag off of it than like a fatter situation.
Yep. So what people
You wanna
normally do is
start
they'll
that
put
one
a
off,
filter in the back.
Or
The
did
filter
you
helps
wanna-
it open.
All right.
Bust it open.
Bust it wide open. Bust, man. Bust. It's one of the ladies that frequent here. Kim's husband. Too.
Yeah.
So Kim, and she's got like I saw her at the jazz market, and she did bust it wide open.
Nice on those live bands and shit.
Yeah. So that's where I got
Shout
that.
out
I
to
went
the
shout-
jazz
She
market.
comes here.
DC Paul was on the episode. He runs the jazz market every Wednesday, actually.
Not this Wednesday though.
Oh yeah,
Are you doing that thing right now? Are you doing that thing? You put it in?
No, you what?
But you can kill it. Also, you can kill it. But you're not filling in? I would love to fill in. I
Fill
eat
in
some
for
Burger
what?
Street, son.
The building is closed because of all the flood.
That's why.
So they closed it. I mean, not even that is they got to assess.
It's raining.
They can't wear blouses with snorkels on or something like that. They want to wear a tuxedo and a snorkel with them.
Motherfucker got to bring instruments.
Oh yeah,
They can't bring a drum set with snorkels, son. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Kamari did mention it would be hard to pull because it's so tight.
It might be. I mean, not necessarily. I actually like a thin little joint because the weed is so good now, and especially, well, I guess if you sharing it, but the weed is so
You
good
ain't
now
getting
that
it's too tight.
it might not be, but that's something that could happen.
That's how I like it.
Yeah, you like it tight.
But yeah, it depends how you like it, but it's like that.
I also have a completely legal tobacco cigarette
Stick. Tobacco sticks.
that might
Get yours
have
today.
a little bit more.
It's too tight.
Commercial.
Damn it.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like
That's not your fault. That's on me. It was. I
didn't want to put all that in there, and I didn't,
So Kamari, how's your comedy been going? How's your week this week?
It's Wednesday. You know what? I'm gonna have a good perspective on it. I think it's going alright. I think it's on point. It's certain shit that I could like linger on and fixate on. But I'm gonna try to let that shit go. I'm hoping that not even, because I mean, the reality is, even if it ain't right now, you know, this water and this weather shit is gonna be a problem just generally. You know what I mean?
For comedy?
Nah, I mean just for life.
Oh, for life.
But you know, I feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm around people I enjoy, specifically yourself. He's all right. I like Rochelle. But yeah, I mean, so I think things.
Already what?
I mean, I said you just all right to me. But
reality
you, Kamari.
I mean, I love you as a person, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, shit's all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't complain, man. Just trying to, you know, be the change I want to see in the world.
Hell yeah, I like that shit. Be the change you want to see.
The change I want to see is Kamari's heart growing for me. That's the change I want to see. Maybe it'll just take time. It'll grow. I'll be patient.
His love for you will grow like his hair.
It's all inner work, you guys.
But also, maybe it's not meant to be because I cut my hair, so maybe it's like this was supposed to go. Maybe it's like you don't love me anymore now. Like, oh, you cut your hair, you a traitor.
Be the change. It's about like.
Why did you? Was it a specific reason that you cut your hair, or was it just time you wanted to?
It was just because I woke up on a Thursday. You know, that's all. It was just like a decision.
How long have you been growing your hair?
I think like 4.5 years.
See, this is the longest I've grown my hair.
How long has it been?
See, it's that funny thing where
your hair just stopped growing.
Well, not even that it stopped growing.
You've been growing that for 10 years. It's just got it right there. All right.
But nah, like when I started, my hair was still pretty short for like a decent amount of time. You know what I mean? So I say like I decided I'm gonna let shit grow out. Probably like what was this? I want to say John passed 2017 February.
Yeah.
2020 July of 2015 or 2016. Okay. That's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grow my hair out. Because the thing is like John, he kept hitting me with the whole like, man, why don't you grow your hair out, man? And I'm like, man, you know, at the time I just had a straight Caesar, you know what I mean? And I hadn't really found a barber down here that I liked, but I was still rocking with the Caesar and just kind of letting it grow, you know.
If you like me more, I would cook you a barber you can go to.
Nigga already got a barber. This was 2016.
Yeah, I've been here since 1987.
Well, motherfucker, my barber been here longer than you. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Durio on Gentilly.
Hell yeah, shout out.
Yeah, for certain. House of Durio. He hit me with the like, you ain't worried about your hair, you gonna lose it. And I had, the thing was, I kind of got to this point where I'm like, oh, you know, I don't have no receipt, hairline, this, that, and third. Like, I wasn't worried about it. But then, you know, John can always do that thing to kind of make you be like, wait a minute, will I lose my hair? And, you know, the reality is, it just made me think about when I was a kid all the time.
You're great at being subversive and abrasive.
Yeah, sorry. At the same time. But it made me just think about, like, you know, I wanted to grow my hair as a kid, but my family was very much about that, like, respectability and how you gonna get a job, this, that, and the third. And it didn't always affect me, but especially when I was like, especially when I was like younger, when I, you know, Allen Iverson was like popping and I wanted to get braids and stuff like that, you know. And
these are the black standards.
And so Prince had just died too. And it's just like, you know what, like, man, I've been wanting to have long hair. Like, let's do it. Yeah. And so, I mean, and I figured out a way to do it in my way. Because some of it was like, you know, I had some issues. Like, I had grown my hair and I had some, like, you know, hair scalp issues and stuff. So, you know, not everybody afro grow perfect.
Shout out to
somebody's afros grow fucked up.
Shout out to my Native American relatives in Houma, Louisiana. I know I got some Native American players.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, everybody ain't got the, like, you know, that happy nappy hair. You know, some people got like different braids and shit. You know, some of the hair is a little straighter, some of it is curly, some of it is springy. And so that shit make their shit grow, you know what I mean, differently. And
my
some
hair
of
always feels like a moistly dampened cotton ball. Always.
you have Jesus' hair.
Very like
you have the hair of wool.
Last week we had Thomas Jones here.
Yeah.
He has natural dreads and shit. My hair would do
Yeah.
that
He had
if I didn't have a box.
Excuse me. You mean?
Well, he is free form where he didn't get it twisted, like he let it grow, because that's like how the Rastas do it. Just let your hair, and that's why you had like big plaits. That's like some of them is like bigger than others and stuff. Like versus you going and getting your hair twisted and then you getting it retwisted all the time and shit. Versus like somebody just it's called the like just letting it grow and then your hair naturally lock up because that's what it do.
Yeah, my hair does.
So people naturally have hair that push out like poop, like big, like you know what I'm saying,
And
like
swirls, yes, also known as fire.
You also have like different. Like,
I mean, not like
hats.
that it stinks, but I mean like just a big clump of hair.
Yeah.
Just
but it's
wow.
ways. Even
Like
with
a rock
it's
formation.
ways to like where you're not getting it twisted, but you still can have it. Like he has it where it's like discernible dreads. It's not just like one big ass clump. But whenever you see like
I've seen those,
like the Haitian cats, like you see like
that's what I'm saying.
they'll bundle that shit and then they have that big ass chunk. And I mean that's how it's supposed to be though if you're doing it if you're a roster.
I know one Haitian dude.
One
That's all I want to
Asian dude?
say. Haitian.
Oh, Haitian dude. I thought you were gonna say an Asian dude.
Shout out to Haiti.
Natural dreads.
Shout out to
That's pretty
Haiti.
fucking cool.
That's just a plug. Haiti. Help Haiti. Somebody. That's my plug. Fuck me. Fuck. Help Haiti.
All right, hold on. I gotta answer this one too. This is my mom. Cause they worried about the storm.
Yeah.
Hey, mama. If you worried about the storm and stuff coming up, everything is fine right now. I recently went to the grocery store.
Been on a
Okay,
podcast
be quiet.
where we just like
Right now, I'm doing a show with my friends. I'll call you afterwards and give you
I'm
like
heckling a phone call for a lot of podcasts. How's that possible, son?
Right
I
now,
can't be
okay.
heckling him. He's heckling me. He's heckling the
Yeah,
space.
I'm
His mama is heckling the space of the podcast. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not wrong with it, nigga. I'm not a crazy man.
First of all my family's in Ohio, and fuck, man, it took 2 hours of raining for
Tell
people
them
to
the news
have
is full of lies. Stop watching
blood.
CNN. It's lying to you.
It's storming right now. We're flying.
Motherfucker, water came in my house a little bit, so you know I don't need CNN for that.
There was a clip on TV of
Motherfucker,
the
I was on
2018
Instagram.
Olympics where people doing water doing. Yeah, this fucking put it in water. What do you do with water? Swimming, yes. All right, so all right. They showed a clip of Olympic swimming. People swimming, and you know what they said? Currently going on New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
It was on the news. I'm saying stop looking at news.
There was a person who swam
I got two tobacco things.
on Canal Street. There was a dude swimming, but I think that was viral shit. Because people know you can swim on a street and go viral.
Oh yeah,
And be virally
be
infected with everything.
viral.
Why would you go
True.
swimming in
Oh,
downtown New Orleans, right where the French
Well,
flag?
and that's kind of the bad thing about
There's
it.
liquid,
Is like,
there's liquid hepatitis in the water right
a lot
there.
of folks was like, well, at least I won't say a lot. It's just real easy to be like a lot of folks. Specifically, one person I know. She was doing live when she was like walking around by like near Claiborne or whatnot. And I heard a lot.
What Claiborne is? The North and South Claiborne.
North
Hey,
Claiborne.
I'm from New Orleans, so that matters, son.
Well, I
You go to
mean,
South Claiborne, that's 17, that's Girdwood, that's Holly Grove, Dirt Town. But I'm saying you go uptown, it's like, oh, I'm going to get my dog a pedicure or something like that. Yeah, specify. Where you at?
Like most of the people on Claiborne, if you, regardless of the South or North, you felt that water.
Oh, you know what?
Claiborne gets flooded.
But I was saying like they said the water smelled like sewage and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like not only is it just the actual water that's coming down, but it's like the water that's raising these drains and then kind of being flushed out almost. Like, you know what I mean? It's wild.
I saw a picture of some dude on Facebook. He said he fell 5 feet deep into some water. That Now that he said 5 feet deep, maybe it's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I feel like we drowned in 5 feet.
He said it was mostly sewage.
I heard that some of the covers open.
Yeah, that
Oh,
too.
so he made it
That
fall.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fell in the sinkhole, that's you. You know how that is such a way to go out.
Or any pothole in New Orleans.
That is such a way to go out. Like, not only are you caught out while it's like just monsooning, and then you like trying to look for safety, and then it's like, oh nah, I also like Super Mario.
Version of getting stuck under ice.
On some Super Mario, like I fell down the pipe.
The urban version of getting stuck under ice. You fall in a manhole.
Fucking, what is it, Tremaine?
The urban version, you hear yourself, black man? The urban version?
Yes.
I want to part of see you talking about black man. The urban version? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the one with niggas.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. Nigga area.
Yeah. Niggas don't be on ice. You gotta be urban to get trapped in a manhole.
Really?
Hell yeah.
I don't think New Orleans is safe for no pop. Like, you can go rich or poor, you are going to get sunken. Like, New Orleans ended up with a big ass moat. Now they build a big city over a swamp and one that should function. The real shit, I work on Bourbon Street. There's a crack in the hole, and literally, if you see from where I'm standing, and a crack in the hole, boom, gushing water right there. There's the gushing water and rats coming through it. Son, we are that close to the water, and you wonder why it's flooding. Move, get out of here. It's about to be Venice, Italy all over again. I'm sorry.
It's about to start raining again.
I'm sorry.
It's about to start raining now.
We do have more tourists.
All we need is a heavy hailstorm. It'll be like Titanic. Then we're going to crack. I'm telling you.
That would be so cool. New Orleans crack.
Iceberg and
like
ice
sank half first.
and we're sinking like the Titanic and ice. All right, damn it, that was kind of.
And the West Bank would be fine.
That's right.
Shout out to West Bank.
West Bank.
Hey, why is there so much hate on the West Bank? The West Bank always existed, and well, I say we. Oh God. All right, because I'm Jekyll High, nigga. Like I was born third world for like 10 years, and then I moved to West Bank. So it's like a hybrid. But it's like I represent both sides. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, why is there so much animosity? Why can't we come together on this? Some of you just want to be quiet. Let's stop all the division. That's what I'm saying. Why it gotta be who's better?
No boundaries, no states.
Look here, I got
open the borders.
If you got siblings on the West Bank, you got siblings on the East Bank too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't mean to yell that loud.
Why? No one's better.
I meant it to be more funny, but I ended up yelling. But dude, open the borders.
True.
Mexico?
All the borders.
Which one?
Everyone.
I'm just piggybacking off your idea of saying no division.
No
borders are division. You know what I mean? State
all
lines,
our maps are gonna be blobs. That's what I like.
State maps, all that shit. That's division, bro.
Yeah, so, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to be.
See, you about to be real xenophobic, right?
Yeah, man. I don't want more white people in this country, son. Because you got the borders down in Canada. That's all is up. It's a floodgate. I don't. Let's.
You think more white people? I don't think they. I mean, like a few, but not like a flood. Because also everybody else will be coming too. Unless they're trying to get to more diverse places. In that case, like those might be cool white people.
Have you ever met any French Canadians?
Probably.
I have.
They cool.
I actually met some French Canadians earlier this year in Chicago. That was like, they were like mad cool.
Nice.
I mean, some of it is me just, I'm a sucker for accents. So.
I am.
But the fact that they was rocking, I feel, what was he talking about? We were talking about Moonlight, the movie, about Barry Jenkins.
Well, what?
Moonlight, the film.
It was about a real person.
Right, but wait a minute.
It's not about.
But when I met my French Canadian, I ain't get my French Canadian. I met my French Canadian they looked at me as if I was like a black Ken doll. Like I was like, ooh, oh, your arms move up like every other Ken doll. Like it was experience. Like they never seen a nigga before. I'm saying, calm down, son.
Motherfucker, if you
I bleed just like
you better never go to Japan.
Just in my thickest jersey. That's the only difference between us. Don't
You
fucking
better
like
never go to Japan. You know what? The thing is though, if James went to Japan, we never seen him again.
Stay there.
I move. I ain't lie.
They be like, "Are you a football player?" And then you be like, "I love anime."
I love self-esteem, but love that shit.
Animes.
Look at me like I'm brand new. Absolutely, like boy, brand new. That's a Kanye song. Shout out to Kanye Ryan Fest.
I know.
I did like that song. I don't want to unless it's brand new. You might see me in my brand new. Brand new shit. Brand new shit. You don't like to get off a brand new dick. They say attitude is everything attitude. I'm high as a motherfucker, fly as a motherfucker. Instead of motherfucker you love to hate, but can't, cause you just love what I ain't. And ain't that about a bitch. And I'ma talk shit.
Until I'm not the whole goddamn song. Alright, that was alright. We went on.
All of this, alright. Bro, I used to like that song a lot. I'm just trying to display knowledge and shit.
You started the whole verse off. All right, that motherfucker must know this song. That's what I said. That's why I shut up, and I was like, oh, it's all right. You know, he got
some
it.
of it is like my own, cause it's like, oh man, like it makes me, I'm impressed with my memory, cause I'm like, bro, I ain't listened to that song in years, and the fact that I listened to it enough when I was like 15, 16, that it's still in there and I can access it. That shit shows me how incredible the mind is.
I appreciate that gift.
I'm not gonna claim that. I'm gonna claim that. I know you say that, but see, like my whole family been on that. Like, oh, I can't remember nothing. I don't like. I understand, but I'm a, you know, I'm gonna hold on to my faculties and exercise my brain and make sure my shit is sharp. You know what I mean? And I understand some of that decay come with, you know, I'm experiencing foot issues and shit. You know, come with being on this motherfucker and having to deal with gravity and all types of shit like that. But you know what I mean? The mind, bro, I've been focused on keeping that shit sharp from the jump.
This episode, I think, it's just been no topic. It's just talking to niggas. I think this was going on.
I said that we was gonna talk the storm down.
Oh, damn it. That's deep.
They were like, man, I'm tired of these niggas talking. Let's go to Albuquerque.
Yeah, let's just keep talking. Fuck the storm.
We have not had a challenge in quite a long time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. Like, we have not gotten to a Rochambeau.
What do you do jokes about, Kamari? What do you do jokes about? Stand-up comedy.
See, man, so can I
all right, well, fuck.
I feel like I can be my most
challenge.
self.
Right? Hey, I saw a challenge. I realized I love you, but I think I found my comedy adversary. If y'all know Thomas Jones is the guy we're talking with the permanent dreads and shit like that. He plays the ukulele. He's very cheerful. He is Bizarro. He is Bizarro Byron. But they're best friends. But he's negative to him. You're my Bizarro, but we're not best friends. We're just acquaintances.
Just figuring this out. I've known this the entirety of our interaction. Hence the reason I come at you the way that I do.
It's just based on
it, because it's like I'm seeing the mirror and I'm like, oh, yes, you are the one I hate.
This is why I hate this episode. This is why.
And you keep doing all the shit that I hate, and I'm like, don't do that. That's the wrong thing to do. You know, and it's just like, all right, but you know, you need that to learn. You need that to learn for myself, for me to learn.
Love mirrors.
You know, that perception. But
I told Byron today.
I was excited. I feel like
I was excited for a reason.
My comedy, I personally, I'm out here. I'm just trying to tell stories. You know what I mean? And you know, the one thing I care as being a storyteller, you know, I don't want it to be this like formulaic way I tell the story. You know what I mean? I want what the story is about to like influence the way I tell it and how I deliver it And so, you know, that's the thing, especially now, like what I'm trying, because the stuff I'm doing now is like the stuff I've been trying to do from when I started. I'm just now kind of figuring it out, how to do it that way. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, because it's just like, you know, I'm a talkative dude, you know what I mean? And obviously,
stories are legit.
A lot of people that I just talk to, number one, they say like, man, you talk a lot. But number two, you know, I feel like
I talk a lot. That's what I'm talking about you, nigga. That's what I'm saying. I know what it's like. It's
I don't talk.
Or would it be like, it's like you're the same shithole, or the same pothole, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but also,
you know what I'm saying?
I confirmed this. It was something I was aware of. I want to say like a year and a half ago.
And then you think about
let's extend this. I wanna give you guys.
I do think about you.
I know, like, I don't really pay attention to the audience. I like never look this way because I'm like trying to like moderate the actual podcast. But I want to do something for you guys.
Let's not be so self-indulgent.
I don't know. I love being self-indulgent.
I know, B.
But I want to perform.
And that's where we align as the self-indulgent.
I just want to perform stand-up for the episode. Honestly,
okay. This is not a nice crowd.
I was being pretentious. I was like, I'm gonna perform for you guys. Well, we will actually perform for you guys.
Let me tell you,
but it's gonna
be. I hate your honesty and whether you could not shit that into something so more cohesive. Now it's so
I gotta be honest.
It sounds forced and contrived now.
That forced. I played a whole
there's
song.
A way. No, you know what it's called? I'm gonna take spearhold ship challenge or something like that. It's something kind of. But I don't want to do it now because it's not sports. I'm a contrarian. I don't like being tricked.
I hear you on that. That makes sense. But I would also like to challenge at least once on story bits.
Yeah.
Whoever wins.
Ooh, I can tell a story.
Yeah.
A bit about being a contrarian.
Okay.
Go.
All right. I'm excited about this.
That's broad as
so we got to do the rock, paper, scissors.
Wait, we have like 2 challenges on top of each
other. Oh, wait. What's yours?
Stories?
Oh, what was yours?
Story thing. Because like that was what.
You want to wait, what is the story? What?
Challenging on stories. So whoever wins does a story joke. Like a bit.
A story
that
joke.
Is a story.
I could tell the story of the Lion King, nigga. That's so broad. That's
you have a bit.
Motherfucker, I got stories in my stand-up.
But I can say anything that is a nigga specific.
Exactly.
Motherfucker, a person knows a story. Like, we all been getting stories our whole life.
Okay.
We know, like, a story.
All right. I get it. I'm an ass.
Versus
you're trying to get just a bit form. You just say any story.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Because my original plan was to do like, all right, let's do, if you got a bit on a story about arguing, you know, first, and then a bit about a story, but then you were like, I don't like being shit, so
I got it now. I'm overlapping redundant ass. I'm sorry. I got it. I'm sorry.
No,
you're beating me up right now.
These overlaps actually lead to different, these overlaps aren't circles, they're spirals. I like to build on like the echoes and shit. Yeah. I was actually saying do shit also. But yeah, we're challenging on the story bit. The challenge goes 1, 2, 3, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I lost.
This is a tie. Tie goes to the runner. Whoever would like to do the bit most.
You're the star of the show.
I'm going for it.
While you're doing the bit, can I go use the restroom real quick?
You can.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, wait a minute.
Give it up for Byron.
Yeah, Byron.
Hi. How's it going?
Good.
One time I was outside of a comedy club. I feel like there is.
You said that like a ghost story. Oh, there's a little
was
spot. It's going.
I feel like it was comforting. So I didn't get
bad for 2 weeks.
It was appreciated. One time I was outside of a comedy club after a set, and this guy came up to me and he was like, "You're a healer, man." And I was like, "What? No, I doubt it." And he was like, "Yeah." And he like took off my glasses that I was wearing, and he put them on my head, and like he did this improv thing where he was like, "Look into my eyes," right? And then like he was like, "I'm gonna ask you a question, but I don't want just one word answer. I want like a real answer. Like think about it." So he like looked me in the eyes and he was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm chaos. I mean imagination. I mean black holes." And he was like, "What?" He looked to the right. That means you're using the thought process of your mind. And then it was at that point that I realized I was talking to a mentalist. And I told him I was chaos, and he did not tell me I was lying. Thank you, guys.
Wait a minute, that was the story?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Give it up for Bob Bruce Hard.
All right,
Thank you for introducing me, too. I actually introduced the stand-up each time, and like, that was a cool introduction.
Did you? Why your leg wet? Like you pissed on your leg? Why? What? Why? Why you? Why?
No, that's from the mosquito spray.
Yeah, that would be a lot of urine if it was urine.
But you didn't rub it in. You just left it on the skin. You just left it on one area.
Bro, I'm not trying
So
to.
you're gonna be good on one side, the other side be bitten the fuck up. That's what that. You get what I'm saying? You gotta rub it in, rub it evenly.
Motherfucker, you got a thing called, force and gravity and shit, and that shit can travel.
Yeah,
you know
and
I also don't want to have fucking deep hands all goddamn day.
But hey, I've seen mosquitoes bite through jeans, my nigga. So I'm pretty sure they can bite
Yeah,
through
what
your
the
open.
fuck?
They be like, oh, this area ain't clean. I'm just go to the next area. They ain't got no fucking poison on it.
If I was gonna do all that shit, I'd take off my whole goddamn sock and spray it.
No, it's not necessary.
I know. Also, shit, man, I'll take a mosquito from you.
I'm gonna take a mosquito.
I ain't trying to, but I'll take one.
I got a bit about mosquitoes.
You do have a bit about mosquitoes.
I hate the fact that I feel my hair on my eyebrow right now. Like, I hate the fact that my eyelash. I have long eyelashes.
So wait a minute, how do we do these challenges?
If you got a bit about something, you just challenge.
Okay, so since
You
I
can
don't have
actually
a bit,
challenge about anything.
I got it. It's gonna be about facial hair.
who, me? A real story that happened to me today. I mean, it wouldn't be interesting.
What do you got bits about?
Oh, I got one last night.
I got a bit about today.
See, the thing is, if I talk about last night, I feel like it's me holding on to something that I'm trying to let go of.
Whatever you need to do, you do it.
So last night, I performed on the show at a different bar later. We have a show every Tuesday at Bar Redux, but after the show, it's this weekly show that's been going on for a while in the city called Comedy Catastrophe. And so I went over there. The bar is no longer supporting the show, so it was its final run. A lot of people were sad. Me personally, I enjoyed performing there, but I, along with the people that was running the show, was very aware that the time of it was short. And it's not me being like flippant about it. Like Cassidy would say something, And so the fact that it kind of kept going, I'm like, all right, well, they just ain't. But it seemed like that's the thing. Like motherfuckers act like you don't be seeing the signs, and it don't have to necessarily be like you see the signs for what's about to happen tomorrow. But you can kind of start seeing the workings for something that's gonna happen months down the line. Yeah, certain people make certain decisions. You know what I mean?
Thought it was gonna be flash flooded.
The computers was wrong, but
the computers are always wrong.
But so
the person that knows actually is God.
Shut up, God.
And we're all gods. So, so it's the last one. I don't think I had done it in like a month or so. And so, I got a chance to do a little bit long. It had, I think, a decent amount. See, the thing about it was I did my set, and one of our friends, Jackie, was hanging out. And so me and Jackie went and got some fish from Hank's.
Why you said like Jackie is your only friend? Like you special. Jackie, my friend, You know what? Fuck that. Me and Jackie close to
everybody.
You are fucking. See, this is that. It's a difference between like actually like looking beneath the surface and just also having no sense of what the surface is and just looking at everything. I don't know. Like I just said, my friend Jackie. Y'all don't know who he's my friend. That is the descriptor, the adjective for him. So we went. I got some fish because I was bad hungry. I had 8 and got some cigars. We smoked some weed. Listened to the new Freddie Gibbs album. It's pretty good. And
only moderately good.
I like to allow people their own assessment. Pretty good could mean a lot to me. Maybe I don't throw out pretty good that often. Regardless, I enjoyed it. And so enjoyed it enough to be like, hey, Jackie, have you heard this? He's like, who is that? I'm like, right, you should know who this is. So that's how much I enjoyed it. Then I got out and then I missed most of the show. I got there as the last person was up and I was Mickey. And so, and I got so what happened, so I do my set, I have fun. It was weird because like yesterday, I was just reading a lot of, not to say, some people just think the news is bad news. But, so I'm reading stories.
They feed bad news, is all they do.
See, I feel differently because I'm a cat. I actually tried to be a journalist and I wanted to work for the media. And just like when you go on stage and you say stuff, you might not be cognizant of the blind spots that you have personally. And so your material might thematically align with something like this. But that doesn't mean that it's like this. It's not deliberate in this very much like one person putting this in front of another person and being like, you're brainwashed. It's deliberate in the sense of that you have people who are writing for magazines. Writing for papers. Specifically at the time that I was trying to be a journalist. Where the thing is, just like any other thing, you got to get aware with your surroundings. So if you're a journalist, you have a beat. So you have to cover something, right? You have to cover politics. Maybe specifically you cover the city hall, and then somebody else covers the fire department, the police station. Well, if you're losing all this money, you're number one, you're hiring newer people. It takes years to build these relationships with people because the only way that you can really get information, real significant information, is through relationships. And that's not nothing that you can just forge overnight.
And then when you finally get to it,
this nigga don't listen.
I am listening. I overstand. And then what they'll tell you when you get to the top, there's nothing you can tell. You can't get the real news out because what we feed negativity is a mandate. This is our fodder. No matter how heroic you want to be, we feed you what we want you to feed. We tell you what we want you to tell you to fucking tell other people. It's all imitated. This whole shit is a facade. I'm telling you.
What were you getting at whatsoever?
I just know, like, as a person, like, my intent for initially getting into
it's heroic.
into getting into journalism. The reality is, and I will agree with you to this extent, it's an institution, and institutions can be corrupted.
Not can, it is. Not can, it is.
Right,
stop with the hope shit. No, it is. They have to get past it. They see it as it is. It's fucked. It's so cool. We have to finally get over it.
It's different. It's news that I see that is not. It's news. Well, it's news it's news that's available to you. That is forever, whatever you want to go. As far as like, if you go to like democracynow.org. That is fully citizen-funded news. That means it has no corporations behind it. They actually are people that the funding is by the people. So everything that they do is public funded. You know what I mean? So that's not something that's like that doesn't have. It's not the interest that is for the people. You know what I mean? So it's news out there that if you want to get it and you want it to be and whatever you want to consider to be corrupt, whether it's money in it, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? It is out there for you. It's a matter of whether or not you want to engage with it.
It's more than money. If they want souls, Like, you don't understand. Like, there's more.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
They want the physical. Like, you don't realize that we are nothing but numbers to these motherfuckers. Like, no matter what it is, their causes, whatever they want to do for us, we are nothing but numbers. Not even numbers. Beyond our name, I have a social security.
See, I knew this was coming. The first thing you was a number. You're property of the United States government. It says it on the birth certificate.
But it's real. It's not like
I ain't saying I'm not. It's just the reality of that. Like, we live in this society, right? We're all human beings, so we're all made up of the same thing, right? So everybody essentially operates the same. So no, I mean in the base sense. I'm not talking about in the very specific of like me and you do the same.
It's
no,
depends
but like
on what you're talking about.
I'm saying in the sense of that you eat. You know what I mean? In a base sense, everybody operates the same. Like you're made up of the same thing.
Consume.
I'm not saying people do these same things. That's obviously, but that's the thing that I want to kind of address is that you act as if we're all being moved by just one force. It is a multitude of forces that operate. It's not only an institution. It is also the institution that is your family. It's the institution that is your parentage. It may be the institution of your community. You know what I mean? And all these are different forces that act and operate in
force. It comes to institutionalized slavery, which comes from actual slavery. It's all come from that one source of why all the fuck black people we are why we are fucked the way we are.
You're talking to be
the way the standard in America. It all comes from that one big source, and that big source.
And the thing is, it's not that I don't. It's not that I don't generalize.
They hide behind Democrats and Republicans. They hide in a big crowded force in Congress. They root right now. I'm telling you, all the shit.
Right. All right.
Spread. They all
right. So look. All right. So James. All right. So James, you are. What do you identify
as? As a human being, I'm trying to be righteous and be loving to all people.
All right. So see, you saying this, you agreeing with this shit? That it ain't gotta. You ain't seen none of his actions or none of that shit. You just like, the fucking motto, whatever the fuck. Now look. So, do you identify? Say something. No, say something. We real people out here.
It's all right.
What you say? Say something. Because I didn't heard shit you had to say.
I have a mic in the back.
But you can't change everything. Just be fucking real.
What does that mean? What does real mean? What does real mean? What is how abstract is real?
Like touching people.
You know what I'm saying? As far as because the thing is,
real.
It's all about love, but everybody's version of love is different. So what the fuck does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the actual action to it?
I figured it out.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, you wrong, or this, that, and the third. But to like fucking disregard my opinion and the things that I've seen and I've experienced personally, just because it ain't this broad, whatever the fuck. Because I can go broad if you want me to. But I care about details, and details are mad important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, finish the story.
Nah, man, bro. See, I fucking see. That's why I have no hope because of shit like that.
Man,
see, that's the thing, and that's why there's no hope because everybody, and this is why you're right. This is why you're right. No. This is why you're right because everybody's perception of whatever the fuck they want it to be. And I can say everything precisely right. I can put 1 + 1 = 2 and this, that, and the third. And if you read that shit as 1 + 1 = 3, it'll be what you read. And it ain't nothing I can do about that shit. And so that's why I know, but I still give a fuck about details because details are important to me. And details and nuance have affected me and is the reason I am the way that I am. You know what I mean? If I was just a man, I can act like any regular fucking man, but I was a man raised by these very specific women. And they not just women. They are very specific. They operated in a very specific way. They handled their spot a specific way. You know what I mean? And the thing is, even the way that they looked at it might not have been the way I looked at it. I looked at it differently. They might have looked at it as that they were supporting their household and the man was the head of the house. But what I saw to be true was them being the head of the house by the actions that they committed. And so that's what has influenced me. I'm sorry.
No, man, I get it.
Because this, that, and the. No, I'm just, whatever.
You're into the micro, and I understand that.
I'm in the macro too. It's all, all is as above, so below.
I'm in it as well. I was raised by a single mother. My dad was already married with another family, all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't get at blaming micro and just I see micro.
It's not about blaming micro.
Micro
should inform you on how to operate macro. And you gotta know the details. Yeah. You got to for me. And I feel like I'm a dude that, like, from where I'm from to how I'm operating in life right now, if I didn't know all the details I knew and how to operate, and I feel, and the thing is, I'm a motherfucker, I ain't got no college degree. I come from a place where poor people are.
Wait, Kamari, I overstand you.
If you say overstand one more goddamn time, bro.
Because that's the only way to set you up. What I'm saying is, your intuition kicks in. Where life acted.
But intuition is informed by habitualness. Intuition is not just this thing that's just fucking. You have to fucking engage, and it's all this shit is senses, man. All this shit is fucking senses and fucking and doing fucking survey. It's surveying.
We got energies higher than that shit. Like intuition is like it'll run on its own, like without the body.
But it's informed. My intuition has been formed by the things that I have habitually encountered and from the repeated experiments of shit.
You ever try to meditate?
Motherfucker, I've been meditating for the last goddamn 3 years. Shut your fucking mouth.
This is where
I hate motherfuckers. See, that's why I don't fuck with him, because he's full of shit.
Actuality is different than
he's full of shit.
I just wanted to figure out
like railing against the spirituality and shit. But actuality is above like what normal people would say is spirituality.
But see, B, I'm saying like, and I don't know if you always feel this, but it's just like, bro, B, the shit that you be talking is shit that I feel like I believe, but I got to it in a different way than you got to. Yeah. And so I feel like it shouldn't be some discounting of the way I got to it. You know what I mean? And my shit, like, when I was in school,
we're not even discounting. We're just trying to add on to your belief.
I'm not listening to the shit you got, bro. I mean, I shouldn't be so dismissive like that. I am engaging with it. But I feel like the thing is the philosophy, anybody's philosophy could be manipulated. So you can speak to spiritual, but that don't mean that you necessarily a God out there. You know what I mean?
Starts with self.
My journey.
And I had to go inward. I had to go inward. You know what I mean?
My journey is a constant journey to be righteous. It's always looking at myself and saying, oh shit, but not being self-righteous in that moment, I shouldn't do that anymore. I should repent that and change it.
But that's a natural part of the human condition. We're all doing that. And it's about what we value as what is righteous. Maybe the shit that you value as righteous ain't really that fucking righteous.
That's part of your intuition, though. That's also part of your intuition. That naturalness. I'm saying it's all cohesive. Not wrong.
I can rock with it. I can rock with it.
Incorporate that together. That's what we're trying.
Motherfucker, I live that shit. I embody that shit. I embody that shit. I wouldn't move through the way, like from where I came from to where I'm at now. I wouldn't have been able to move through it if it wasn't with no. If it was just all zeros and ones. The shit ain't that for me, bro.
I didn't say that. You said that.
You saying we the way you need to look at it like we. So you didn't imply that.
No, I'm saying
you imply that I have no awareness of what that is. Like
nope. I'm saying your intuition could match with ours. There's different levels to it. What I'm saying it's not intuition just the one stream you're saying, and it's not intuition just the one stream we're saying. We're saying there's different streams of intuition, and you can put that together and make a big intuition like Frankenstein monster. Yeah, fucking like a beautiful big intuition. You know what I'm saying? That like crazy intuition. That's what we're getting at. Yeah, man. I get you.
Y'all motherfuckers is talking to me like I'm dumb, bro. Not you. You ain't got shit to say to me.
No, man.
I don't care. That don't mean shit for me.
On no cliche shit, son. I respect the fuck out of you.
Hey, man, it's people that's wrong out here. Everybody ain't fucking right. So I ain't gotta listen to motherfuckers I deem wrong.
That's the thing.
But also recognize that you ain't right either.
I know for certain. I know for certain. I know for certain. That's why I'm so hard. It's because I'm like, hey man, is this right? Is this right? And I'm trying to make sure everybody else is on the same tip.
I didn't explain the
time and space of actuality.
It's just it's sometimes I get frustrated when a person want to talk to me like I ain't really. The last thing you can say about me is that I ain't thoughtful, and so I feel like you and you, the way y'all coming at me is like I've never sat and really like moved all this shit over. Like I do this shit constantly. I've been doing this since I was a young boy. And I know from
wait, I gotta say. You said first feel and not know. You felt, but you don't know.
See, I feel like life,
but that's not what you know. My perception.
How I operate through life on feel and skill. It ain't just feel for me. I think skill is, because the thing is, feeling is a skill. It's a thing that you can increase. Motherfuckers out here operating like they have no capacity for empathy, and that is a thing that you can grow and expound upon in yourself. It's not so. Like, you don't just get empathy. You got to develop that shit. That's why fucking little 4 or 5-year-olds is me all the goddamn time. And the reality is, a lot of these motherfuckers out here in the world still is on that me shit. Very few people are really about that collective we shit. And the reality is, until we accept the collective we won't fucking be liberated. And that's everybody. And that's why I rock with the all is self. If we all operated that we were all the same person, then we wouldn't treat each other the way that we treat each other. But people don't really do that. And the reality is, you gotta really know yourself to know how a motherfucker need to be treated.
And you said all that. And at no point that I questioned it. I just want to say that for the record. At no point, all I asked was.
It's on tape. People will see it and they can see what they want to be.
All I asked was, nigga, do you meditate? Because look at
I do meditate. Just because you meditate don't mean that you're just cool and calm all the time. If you meditate, you are present and you are present with your feelings.
You're assuming that's not.
I'm not assuming. I am saying what the definition of meditation is.
I don't meditate. I real shit. I practiced. I saw what it was, and so it's where you sit down and you let your thoughts just go and shit like that on that level. And I saw that, and I'm like, well, I do that regular. Like
rage is necessary just as much as peace is.
I didn't say nothing was wrong with it. I don't understand what's going on.
But also, this was a great interaction.
But why does one have to be better than the other? That's also what I want to get to. Why can't both coexist? You have to be at peace with both sides.
Right now, we can't really talk to it peace.
But it wasn't through meditation. It was just through thinking and living through life like he
right
did.
Now, we can't really
I don't even meditate because I don't really need it. But if I can, it's a tool I use to get rid of stress. But I don't need it. But we agree. But I'm just talking on a different level. I wasn't disagreeing.
Yes, he could talk to me.
Well, we're not right now. And plus, I think 2 on microphone. Well, actually, Rochelle is here, but also, I mean, you think I need to go now? But that's not the whole thing. I know now.
I'm not saying you need to talk to him now.
Not right now.
I'm saying in this podcast, in this position, talking to him is not reaching him.
That would be intuition.
I'm not, okay, now he's
I didn't
now
walk
talking.
out.
Who reach him?
Sort of.
Well, also what's on tape was
that was a break. I love that.
I want to get it up.
Do we got bits about
commercial? Do the commercial.
Also, what was on tape was that we were just saying that like
the thing that
rage and peace.
The shit
together.
Man, let at least us and James talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
For just a second.
That's my issue.
Just to wind it down, that one moment.
Isn't this good? This is good.
It's definitely amazing.
Conflict is good.
I am loving it.
There is no story without conflict.
This episode is legitimate. I wanted figures. I didn't want that. My thing was I always find like facing this problem, like when I even have a bit about it. I'm not gonna do the bit, but like trying to give people solutions and shit, like it always rubs the wrong way when like you it's like you have to like legitimately know how to manipulate your own thoughts in order to translate it to another person in a way that it's not like a solution.
But I've kind of figured some of that shit out.
Yeah, you have figured a lot of it out. I mean, like it's.
The thing is,
of being in a space where I didn't believe in truth and shit. So like not believing in truth was amazing. I could talk about anything. So I'd be like, whatever I say isn't true anyway. Nigga, like, it does matter. Don't listen to me. I'm not talking truth. But like knowing actuality, I can't just like break into, oh, well, actually, this corresponds to this, and in this part, you put it together. This one, you know, like, because it still rubs the way of solution.
Byron, what you say? I can't encompass what you're really saying in layman's terms. Is that we all have our own pathways.
James has less of a point than me and Byron.
Well,
that is my truth.
All right, well, that's your opinion, and I'll leave that to the audience and to the people who are listening to our podcast, and to also Byron. But you know.
So now,
for the record, I want to say that, like, I wouldn't say that James is a bizarro me, or that I identify with Byron. If I feel like I've operated in these spaces. If I haven't never explicitly said it, I feel like off of feeling, intuition, that you've been around me enough. But that should be something that is maybe not apparent, but it should be seen that I'm not like the polarity of y'all. I'm on the spectrum with y'all, you know what I mean? Like I've operated for like, I remember one of my biggest like revelations, like, cause you know, I was raised Christian to go to church and stuff like that. And it was a thing that I know that about you. I know that you went to Catholic school, and I know that about, like, I'm aware of that. And that's something that, back to slavery, is a thing that we were indoctrinated with. And so I remember, you know, initially just on a separate from being black and the indoctrination part, just having questions about it and not feeling like I was getting those questions answered. And then finding out answers about our history as captured people in America, and understanding that Jesus was put on us, and not only Jesus specifically, but a specific kind of Jesus was put on us, a white one, not the one that's really the one that would have been in that book. You know what I mean? And so thinking about how negative that was, and how, you know what I mean, like how that was not, this was used as a tool of control. Now, granted, I still know people to this day, specifically people in my family, that love Jesus and have found a pathway through Jesus to find some type of peace. And I don't go up to them people, I don't go up to my mom and be like, slavery is the reason why you like Jesus, right? You know, the slave master, you know, that the last name that we really got is the same. That's the reason you love Jesus. Hold on, listen, hold on. You not letting me finish the point on that, though. And so I'm like, my mama is one of the most peaceful people I know. You know what I'm saying? And so while I might think differently, I allow her peace. And the thing is, I know it's no way for me to change her perception on that. And what I've got to, kind of back to speaking, where I understand her language that she speaks, and I fit it into what my language is. And she knows enough of what my language is, and I know how to give it to her in her language. So certain things, like my mom is a devout Christian. I am not. I feel like at this point, I went through a phase where I was like on some like, fuck God shit. I don't believe in that shit. Blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And I've also operated definitely, I think more so now that I've just had experiences where I'm like, you know what? It's more mystery to the world than I'm aware of. And some of this shit, I just really don't have no answer for. And so it is magic out there. And I need to be open to that magic. And it's a disservice to myself if I dismiss that, you know? And I've allowed magic to come into my life and seen it and recognize it as such and acknowledge it. So that way that I try to pay attention to when that time can come again. You know what I mean? And so where I'm able to talk to my mama and where she's talking about a lot of shit where it's certain lessons that she imparted on me, even though I'm not no Christian, where it's like faith without works is dead. That's something my mom has said to me for years. And it's in the Bible. And that's something that I keep in my mind. It's like my faith in whatever I'm doing, if I ain't putting work into it, then it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, and so for me, it's like finding the through line. And that's what I am personally is the through. I do see it's a through line in everything, and that's the thing that I try to get closest to. And the reality is that we put all these fucking distractions out here that keep people disengaged from what the through line is, and that will really bring us together. And that's why, for me, it's like, I feel like to a certain extent, I feel like people, you really figuring out how to get the shit out that you want. You know what I mean? And people are rocking with it. And I know it's people that's on a different plane, but I'm trying to get it out like that too, to them. You know what I mean?
I think this whole thing started off.
And some of this, it's not just you, James. Last night, I had a fuck nigga talk shit to me, and I let it get to me, and that's the thing I've been trying to let go of. And it's a part of me that, like, you know, some of it is my ego, because the shit he called me, I'm like, I'm way better than that shit. Like, I can't even believe you put my name in the same preface and shit like that.
That's what I was going to get to. This all started off by me saying he bizarro me, but I was just getting that on one aspect. If it's just you talking to the black dude.
Motherfucker, I am not upset about being, I am aware.
I just meant it on that, like, you know, it's like, oh.
I've been aware of that.
That's all.
You could ask other people in my life when I've mentioned your name that they're aware that I'm aware of this thing. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, I recognize that in what I share, because again, I rock with the idea. I'm not just me.
Man. I'm not taking
you are in me. I see you in me. I see you in me. I see very little of me and you. I see you and me. You know what I mean? I don't know y'all that well.
It's not sure. But also, if you got to a fit in me, must mean you. That must mean you see little shit to me. Like I must mean nothing. You got that goddamn uprising of like. Oh my god! Like you a peon.
You act like it's more so.
I ain't teasing. Don't get offensive. I ain't teasing.
No, the reality is, it's like, but it's that. So kind of back to like, you know how people say like Mercury or retrograde, and it's like a full moon. I'm not saying I know what it means either, but just that level of like, for me, sometimes like for me, all right, like moods, man. Like you get into moods. You don't really know why you get into a mood. You can maybe trace some stuff, but sometimes you just being like, for me specifically, like last night I was in a like, oh, I'm trying to get some mood. You know what I mean? And the reality is, I'm not always in that mood. Like that ain't for me. It don't work like that. Sometimes I'm in a like creative mood, and that's in my like get some mood, but it's creative, like trying to create stuff. And that's the thing I'm excited
to bring
about.
it to a personal level for me, like with moods and like, oh man, I got weird already.
Nah, bro, let's get it. I feel like this whole joint said weird to a motherfucker, bro.
Like with moods and shit, like.
And see,
what I was really gonna say was like what I mentioned earlier, the layers of the mind and shit. Like I've really made all of mine work together, so it's like no matter what mood or whatever, I always like work towards the goal. I've reoriented. When I didn't believe in truth was when I was reorienting in free space to find like which way is up and shit. So like that's actuality studies now that I know for certain which way is up and forward and backward and shit. Like now I could just, it doesn't matter what I do, honestly. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm always moving in the right direction. Oh, it's like a comfortability though. Like you have to like first be aware of why you're making decisions and then not judge it, and then like you can overcome from the not judgment and awareness of it, you can make it work for you for like whatever you want.
But see, I think that some of this is informed by just, you also have to acknowledge the way you interpret your philosophy is informed by the way you was raised. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the way, but like your upbringing and my upbringing is like way different. And I'm not even just saying on the level of like, you know, how your parents raised you, but just like your environment. And that's the thing that I'm like recently just been really kind of acknowledging is like how much of a product I am of my environment and like where I'm from, man. Where I'm from, like man, like, and not just me, not me personally. And it's not that it's not the case here. It's the case a lot of places. But
yeah, that's what I was saying. The actuality accounts for that spectrum. That's like a consciousness level. Yeah. That's a layer of like how you were raised and this carnation. This life is a layer.
But see, some people have to fight. Some people have to fight to break through to that level. Man. Some people is kind of given to.
I'll tell you one step in where it takes. It takes, first of all, you said knowing yourself, but also knowing yourself and knowing your flaws, and also not knowing your flaws, but knowing how people respond to your flaws. If people are offended or they feel a certain way, then you should acknowledge that. Because it not just be on them, and maybe something on you. You have to judge that on a balanced level to get to that perspective of getting over it. So it's not just also knowing yourself, it's knowing other people. It takes two.
But
baby.
The reality is
it takes two,
that's easier.
Baby.
That's easier said.
You know what I'm saying? No copyright laws.
But I mean, like, just in the case of which, like, I'm of the belief that, you know, communication is always happening, but not everybody knows how to properly communicate.
Empathy is not just on feel. Empathy can be on two levels. Empathy is understanding people, but you have a conversation. Empathy is also
honestly,
on
man,
the outside feel.
Like
you can look at someone and feel how what their mood is.
But
empathy is layered. It's not just on one stream. That's also.
But I don't know. That's informed by you looking, because it's like sometimes. Well, the reality is people aren't static. We're changing every single day. I feel like every single day is a personal.
Right. I would kill myself and I didn't find any kind of trauma from myself. Something mentally get over. I'll be bored with myself. I'll be fucking done.
I was like a tomboy. I say first words.
You were talking about how
my point is,
now for the audio didn't hear you. But you were talking about how your family was staunch Catholics and how that made a division, and with some you found a reflection grew from that.
Judgment isn't just bad though. Judgment is more than that. It's when it's applied the right way, because you had to make a judgment to decide to do comedy, and that's been a good judgment, right? You know what I mean? It's been a good judgment for me. And I mean,
mine was planted by I didn't have any state in my life to know I want to do comedy. Like I was like, I'm not important enough to fucking, who the fuck is gonna listen to me? It took a seed and that shit grew. But it's also it's in part a seed, and also your connectedness with some shit that is connected, that everything like you talk about the vision. My family is Baptist to the core. You know, if anything right, you go to hell. There's all that kind of shit. And my sister didn't come out, but someone told my mother, and my mother told my people that she was bisexual or whatever like that. But my sister wasn't ready to tell her that kind of shit because she knows how my mom is with church and shit like that. But my sister went on for Thanksgiving dinner. And thinking she was gonna get Thanksgiving dinner and came into a fucking intervention. A circle, not a turkey, fucking that kind of bullshit. My sister held that shit in and she went home that night. And I ain't found until a week later, because I went in after her. I went in right after her and had Thanksgiving dinner with the motherfuckers and played Pictionary. And I ain't found until a week later, my sister came and said, James, he said, you know, they put me in intervention. I'm like, an intervention for what? It's like, because I'm bi. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? She explained to me. I'm referring to my aunt. I wanted to call my aunt and say, who in the fuck do you think you are to put my sister in that kind of fucking? I was going up. She said, no, I don't. My sister stopped me. She said, because I don't want that. I said, what? I don't want to handle it like that. And I had to stop myself in that shit. But what I did catch was what I posted my mama. And I said, Mom, if you believe this shit, this is why I believe in God. That the God that fucking made us, that made a fucking volcano, knew he made gay people. He knew he made the paraplegics. He knew he made every to the fucking core. Everything exists for cohesion, for a reason. There's no fucking way the God that all knows didn't know he fucking made someone who's gay. That's fucking dumb. That's in the word that white man gave us. That's that bullshit. But I told my mom, I said, Mom, if you want my mother to see like that man, I said, if you want to stop that, if you want to stop that, wait, let me finish. I said, Mom, if you want to, God is everything. Nigga, that's what I'm saying. But I said, Mom, if you want to stop that connection with your daughter, you want to stop loving her and knowing her, keep this shit going right now. Stop looking at you the bad guy, all this shit, putting that junk. No, it's not about you, it's about her. I say stop all that shit, accept her, and she ain't even accept her girlfriend, so I told her that shit. No, it's just, but I understand it, but it's like I overstand the shit. Even with that broke me down into getting out of the book of the Bible was that parody in my life. Not parody, to see that real shit in my life. I'm like, this is bigger than us. It's not bigger than it's us. We are the big picture. It's not the shit that's in us. It's us. We have to connect with each other. Fuck all this other shit. Just focus on us and let go of your shit, man.
Now you realize you like, what if he's full of shit though?
I like it.
But what if he's full of
She
shit?
said, I like it.
What if he's disingenuous?
How would that even work?
I mean, slightly. It's just
How
that
would it work?
I see how easily people can be manipulated, man. And not to say that it's you specifically,
How would
but
that
just
work? No, like what would be the game?
because, man, it's like I'm not talking about you specifically. It's just like I'm a man that like I care a lot. I done heard a lot of people talk a lot of shit, and they ain't never been about that shit. I've seen a lot of people. Their actions have shown me the most of what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like for me, it's like, yes, I mean, yeah, we should speak about it and this, that, and the third, but like to like just be so caught up in somebody talking about shit that I need to see in action. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, well, I'll give you my sister.
I'm not talking about.
I'll give you her first name.
But look, no, it's specifically.
She's probably like, I named her Melissa. I'm gonna say her name right now. I'm gonna say her full name, but I mean, are you serious?
I'm talking about a thing that is I just witnessed, just in general. Because the thing is, motherfuckers, you act like how many, and I don't even want to get into how many, but we are aware that people can be misled, right? That is a true thing, and that comes from people talking the talk, but not walking the walk. You know what I mean? And we real quick. I'm trying to address. We're real quick because like one of my biggest things I hate about comedy is the whole clapper shit. You know what I mean? And when people clap to what is supposed, we doing comedy, but you clap. I'm saying you saying stuff that any reasonable person is like, yeah, no, I agree with that. And so you feel compelled to clap because you're in a group, you don't seem like a bad person. But it don't have to mean shit about the actual actions when we really up here just telling jokes and we should be funny and laughs should be the way that a motherfucker should determine whether or not you're good or not. You know what I mean? And so just that idea, like, when motherfuckers is really walking the walk, we shun them. We don't pay them no mind.
Hey, Byron.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Byron, do you think that the podcast
and I'm not talking about you.
Should be
I'm talking about
also
just that.
about comedy
you're a part of this too. Y'all all are part of this.
It's your podcast. I mean, what do you think about the podcast?
Oh, the podcast is legit.
I'm sorry, I've torpedoed this.
Maybe it's moral practice, Clobber. Look.
No, I
and the reality is, it's like, I'm more so just trying to just, because you said earlier you're a contrarian, right? I have contrarianism within me, and I want to display the vastness of what a motherfucker can think out here, and it can't just be all the same shit.
And I see about the walk.
And my thing is that as me trying to be a journalist, I was taught to try to look at all the fucking angles. You know what I mean? So not just from my own feet, from everybody else's feet too. You know what I mean? And it requires heavy scrutiny.
Well, what you're talking about with like the talk and shunning the people who are doing the work is because like the masses, there needs more bridges. We need more bridges to like more shit for the masses.
Well, and honestly, I feel like people have.
There are people who know what they're talking about.
No. Well, the thing is like, I feel like the one thing is like, as far as what I feel like the development of humans. Because a lot of it is just my theories on humans. You know what I mean? And theories on people. You know, and that is what kind of drives a lot of my thinking. So, and I won't say that, like, I believe that it's a spiritual component to humanity, but I'm also very cognizant of all the different animals that we have and exist out here, and what part do they play, and what is the significance of that? You know what I mean? So it's just like the idea.
Because it's like they're on a spectrum, and like it's like an energy behind the animal that is the animal, and like it manifests in these DNA patterns that are the animals.
Well, and I say that to say this, and I mean some of it is like the things that we see in animals that we, you know, habits and things of that nature, you know, versus like, and I mean and this is something I don't like to talk about things that I don't know that much about a lot of animals. My information. And that's some
I know
of it.
about the duck penis, nigga. I know the duck penis. The ducks,
let's not go into that.
Have a corkscrew penis, and it's fucking horrifying. Ducks are not cute little. No, but they are horrible fucking rapists. They are expert rape. They beat evolution to rape female duck. You should kill male duck. It's some awful shit. You know people that's put the fence. They evolved to have counterparts from penises to fight the male ducks. But the male ducks they evolved to skeleton dick penis. They just fucking did through they did a test tube.
They're gonna make some
I'm sorry,
shit.
that's science. You do some test tube. It's some horrifying shit.
They're gonna make a GoFundMe about ducks now. So people are gonna
you want to help me. You want to help me stop all the male ducks from all they massacring out. Yeah, male ducks even fuck dead corpses. It's horrifying. Get them off the. Don't think you should see a swan because it's beautiful. No, nigga, swans are but beautiful ducks. No, there's a sea the same fucking way. Get swans out of here too, nigga. Fuck them. All right.
That was good. Get it out. Fuck swans.
Fuck a swan.
Y'all are so good together. I'm enjoying each person. Y'all are beautiful.
Thank you.
Different personalities. It is beautiful. Each person.
I recently got a memory stick for my recorder. And like usually it cuts out at 1:30, but now we got like time and shit. And I'm like, oh shit, they're not stopping us inside. They don't have a movie to play. Oh shit, we have an amazing conversation. Like I just don't want it to end and shit.
I think we need to wind it down.
All right. Well,
not immediately, but I feel like we should be descending. got this. I gotta finish it.
Hell yeah.
And your animal story.
You the one that was
Say that again.
The animal story.
I am innocent.
you like.
That is true.
I know, I'm the same age.
Why he's a stand-up?
I'm a stand-up too.
None of them are standing up though.
Yeah, we're all
I
they didn't challenge only once, and then I did it.
True. I feel like we should do some more. We should have some more. But this is Winsome Places.
Oh my God, y'all.
This is
We
Winsome.
don't have to go into stand
A
up.
great
Like,
conversation.
Man, you know
I
what
guess we
though?
shouldn't force it.
I
Hey,
just feel weird being the only person.
in relation to bring it back to square one, when it made the comparison with how you and Thomas are like, but it's on a mental type of thing. But like, explain your adversarial level with Thomas. Like it's like it's a respect thing, but it's like it's friendly, but it's also like
amazing story. We're gonna go into origin story.
please. I don't know this story.
We were friends, or we are friends. Back in the day when I was like first starting my path, and like I started with like Black studies, and then like I was racist at that point, and I would tell him shit, and then he would be like, "For real, what?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, here are the details," and he's like, "What? No." And then I'd learn some new shit, and then I'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm not racist anymore." It's like, "What?" And then like one time I was like about chaos. That was the main one. I was like, "Oh shit, chaos is supreme, change is supreme." And he was like, "Oh, that's so cool, you're the dark side." And then I was like, "Oh wait, there's more shit about chaos. Order is also relevant." And he's like, "What? You can't just switch to the light side?" I'm like, "Yeah, it just makes more sense." And he's like, "No, you're just trying to get." He's like, You're just an evil mastermind. You're trying to get the good people and the bad people. You've got to be stopped." And that was when
Yeah, okay.
That's what just happened with Kamari and I just now. We will be friends in the future. Don't worry about this episode. We'll have a back, and it might be that episode like hug and maybe like slightly spoon, like not spoon, like a real intimate like shoulder hug, where we smell each other's armpit and shit like that. I wear lavender to it,
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Nihilist, right? I have hope that people will ultimately get it, because also you are a good-hearted person, and I'm good-hearted, and I know eventually it's all the other shit, man. But I'm not trying to force it, but I do know in the future, man.
The real issue is that I have very high standards.
I'm not mad at that, man. Hey, you should, because of the human being. You should have barriers, but me as a person, that's my fault. I'm too open at the beginning.
Condescending. I don't know what your standards is. That's me. See, it's I haven't properly destroyed my ego yet. That's my problem. No, it's probably gonna be to my detriment.
I had so much low self-esteem. I didn't know that my ego had a claim. Like my ego had a right. And it took comedy. I'm 31. I didn't do comedy up 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And comedy helped me through that journey. You know what I'm saying? So I don't come on stage like I just have it all. I'm still trying to get it all together.
Well, I mean, and the reality is, if you ever work, I mean, I say this as a person that also.
I'm just talking about esteem, like.
But I mean, like, if any person that comes on the stage that has the attitude of like they got exactly what everybody wants and motherfuckers need to see.
Well, not that, but that's funny at least.
Well, I mean, beyond that, I just think it's like, because it's just such a, well, some of it is just the reality of it, but like, man, it's a beauty to like, I mean, one of the beauties of doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying I wasn't gonna say that. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Because I don't think, because I was kind of going in that direction. Where it's like, where it's not level of getting, but in that moment, we're all on the same page. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it's beyond, because number one, I don't want you to see me perform for no 3, 4, 5 minutes and be like, oh, I got him. Fuck nah. It's a lot more to me than 5 minutes. But, you know, just the idea like, oh, I'm on the same page and be able to look and be like, we not necessarily on the surface the same, but deep. You know what I mean? I can relate. And then that's how you can build empathy. And I mean, the reality is, like,
well, if they want to build, I'll have a one-on-one conversation with them. But I'm on stage. My on stage is to represent my personality with who it is. But what I'm saying, I
identify with your soul.
With your 3-4 minutes, you can do whatever you want to within that space, and then have them just take it and then look into the judgment and let it go. Because if they want to get more, they can just talk to you one-on-one.
I can't talk about the reasons on doing comedy because I'm very alternative. I'm very alternative comedy. I have weird goals and shit.
Yeah, but do
Tell us a weird goal.
Yeah, do your specials. Do your specials. You got everything out.
To myself in my recording. Shout out having a podcast. Like I'll get on stage just to do a set for my podcast. Like that's not how comedy's supposed to go.
You tweeted it, you named it.
Yeah.
I'm not just me.com.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I do some weird shit though.
I'm sorry.
Good.
We need more weird shit.
Weird shit's fun.
And this has been like the episode title today. We always have like a theme every episode, and this one's just been weird shit. It's been a flash
flood of ideas.
Right, in between us. But to the mainstream people, like the broad street,
you've been washed over with the density and currents of our thoughts.
The people on the wavelength, they'll connect to this shit.
And you've had to wade in those waters.
Yeah, man.
In the water.
Waiting water runs you. I sound like Elvis right now. In the water.
Creole King.
You remember at the beginning of this when James was talking about the white girls couldn't dance, and then have you seen his dance?
I was doing an impersonation of Elvis. I was impersonating Elvis, who's a white man who impersonated black people. I was impersonating his dance. I was being goofy on purpose.
I was mostly referencing the other dancing artists.
What's wrong with my dancing? I don't know the technique.
You should dance how you feel.
I do. That's what I do. I dance how I feel. You dance how you feel. Also, you know the dancing of the popular, and that helps. I don't know but I just dance how I feel.
I mean, that's not. You act like I'm out here fucking.
No.
I look at them. I'm like, that's not. I like to dance.
Both. I'm trying to get on your level. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get on your level, but it's hard. I got ADHD. It's hard to like memorize all these fucking dances and shit like that.
We are adversaries. Yeah.
But I'm entering your level. Yeah.
We're adversaries.
I don't look at you. I look at you like I need to learn and stuff like that. I don't want to be opponents. I don't even think.
I feel like this is also if it might not be real. Notice I said might, but it might not be real.
Yeah.
But it's been good for the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been good for the podcast.
If you've heard the first episode,
it may be real.
It smells like Brooklyn
downloading
and mothballs.
Yeah.
But it was all for the podcast.
Yes, this podcast is me
as
downloading
above,
myself.
so below.
And as a download,
and I really do
full
believe that
video
shit.
and full scenario, real events that I'm in, so it can really get my personality, And I have to have repeated evidence, mostly in the same position, so the computer doesn't have to do any extra work when it's analyzing me, And then when they upload me to the cloud, I'll be a good enough percentage of myself to where I can put my awareness there. Do weird, creepy internet shit.
Well, this episode be extra hard, motherfucker. I felt like you talked like 2 times today. My bad.
I did
last
talk
episode was my problem. Last episode over talking was my. I was over excited last episode.
I am honest when I said that, but that was also jokes. If it does happen, though, I'm coming for your computers. Download me.
I'm sensitive, so I can't take everything for a personality. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like Kamari, you saying shit like, oh my god, I was about to cry.
Motherfucker, you act like you the only sensitive motherfucker.
I didn't say that.
Most comedians, all comedians
are sensitive. Yes.
All artists are sensitive. Hence the reason why rappers get so upset all the time.
Yeah, musicians may be on the same. I feel like.
Right, it's just all art. I mean, kind of go back to you like the bright, like it is all art, and so you point to just that creativity, and you know it comes out in different ways, but it's all rooted in creativity. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the same way that I'm sad, it won't connect with the same person who's like a unisecular like juggler. I don't think that. I'm teasing those guys. I'm teasing them, but I feel you.
And that motherfucker juggle, they also play an instrument. So in the instrument.
Well, why don't they play the instrument then? Fuck all the.
Well, what they do, because artists do more than one thing.
Touché.
Because like Byron makes music, is also an author.
Yeah, dude, got a book out. Yeah,
myself
got a book on the way.
You know, I do comedy. I like to write. I'm trying to do more things related to like photography and filmmaking. You know, and I love music. I don't play it, but I love dancing. I'm a big dancing motherfucker.
Isn't that hard?
And you know, I want to go back. I apologize for being again when I say the bizarro, like the bizarro version of me is the way I look at him, and I'm really hard on myself. Like, and not that that's gonna sound, because maybe I'm not, but I think I am. You know what I mean? Compared to what I see in other people, and so that's why I'm coming at them like that, because it's like I'm coming at myself, and so y'all see how tortured of an artist I am. That's how, like, that energy that I was giving to him is energy I give to myself. Don't think that that's energy just for you. That is, I got more energy for me. Nobody got more smoke for me than I got. Yeah. I got all the smoke for me. And I like having the smoke.
That's why I'm on beefing every third Wednesday. Like, I'm on beefing every Monday.
You don't beefing for another reason.
None of this shit doesn't get to me. Like,
they should.
But look here, I realize
and not even like personally, just in like
I just think in the past few months, but I
that you should do better on them because you've been on it so many times and have been not that successful. That's how it's
well, also though, if you in every episode, I give me, like I give I'm there for me, like I'm there for my charm, my personality, when I give to beef and stuff like that. And the past 2 weeks, I've just been stinking. I gave you all flat jokes with no personality. I just been
perception is everything.
But I think it's because I hadn't had a break with beefing. But I want to keep that. I want to keep that edge, that layer. So I recognize they recognize there will be.
Maybe you should take a break.
No, I recognize
somebody.
Listen. I recognize there'll be weeks.
Hey, Lane and Ashton.
There will be weeks when I
tag somebody else in.
It's all right. Look, I'm already stuck.
I'm
already inundated.
Retired.
I got collateral. I got belt. Be sucking Lane's dick. It's all right. I already got fucking leverage on him. I'm never gonna get that.
Oh, he wanted to be on. Notice he didn't say eating Ashley's pussy. He said sucking Lane's dick.
Because Lane was great. Lane's great. That's why I said Lane.
That doesn't translate to anything at all. You should
Ashley just got on last month. That's quarterly. But also, I'm on beefing because of my personality. My show for the past 2 weeks, I've not been in it. But I told every episode, I recognize my faults and where I stunk, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I tell it to Lane. Like, "Yeah, man."
Before every beef, that shit, he listens to Michael Jackson's "Man on the Mirror" and he cries one tear.
I've actually cried on one side,
and not because of the song, because he's so sad that Michael Jackson might have molested their boys.
I was watching y'all remember when the Malaysian kids was in the mine and they couldn't pick it out, and the mothers
about the story
about left side crying, and the mothers were waiting for the rescue team. They got to the hospital, and the mother was waiting outside the hospital ward with the mask on. They couldn't see the children. You remember that? The Malaysian kids in the mines. Yes. And the mother, and they got rescued. The mothers were waiting for them. They were crying. They were sobbing. And I got so emotional. But I was at work, and my co-workers were right there on the right of me. They were looking at the TV. Also probably looking at me. And instantly, I was like, I can't let this tear go. So instantly, my tear ducts came from the left side straight up. The right side was dry. the bluffs. I felt like, oh my god, am I a social fan? How am I able to fucking do that? I didn't know how I was able to fucking do that shit. But also, I knew I must be just be an actor, nigga. Like there's only fucking way you can pull the fucking left side, right side, no cry without being a complete monster. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. I mean, when people talk about beauty, like people talk about beautiful sunsets. No, man, seeing that kind of emotional connection, man, with your kid, that shit was beautiful. You can cry. A sunset, I seen that shit. The sun down here, I fucking hate the sun down here, nigga. The sun out here is fucking just bullet, nigga. This fucking sun is fucking you talking. Like, damn, I just woke up and I didn't even have to beat it down already, motherfucker. God damn.
So
You
time
ever get out of the shower in the morning and be cool and fresh, and you walk outside and instantly sweat? I just put cleaners in and I'll get dirt out of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You were finishing the story earlier. I don't even remember.
Was I?
At that point.
You didn't tell that to Kamari. Oh, because you didn't know anything all black people look like. What you saying? What you saying right now? Because you all got short hands, we all look alike. You couldn't get the difference between Jamaican.
We're not finished.
I'm playing with him.
But we are going to finish this episode. You guys, not currently, but in a minute. We are actually.
Not currently.
We're not ending it on you being the R racist word. I'm sorry. No, I did say I was joking.
I get it.
Also, she just asked for my name.
No. What you just said? Kamari. She said Kamari. See what I'm saying? You know what it is? It's not your fault. It's your great grandfather's fault or something like that. It's not you. It's not you directly. I understand. Recognize that, yes, and be better. Yes, you see that in yourself. Yes. Flaws in all of us.
They will. This will be viral. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be viral.
I love our live audience. I love you guys. I'm not. Maybe I am, but Kamari will fucking call me. I'm sugar-footing or whatever like that.
I really love you.
I really love you.
I'm worried about him. Because I'm worried about each of us individually and collectively.
This is amazing.
I worry about him a lot.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'll take that energy and transmute.
I want to worry about this, but he just keeps putting himself in my life. So, and I'm super worried about myself.
I used to be
just trying to make it through the day.
Usurper. I used to be a usurper. No longer, but
wait. Oh, sorry. You had a really pertinent question.
What was the question?
What's the definition of white?
The definition of white?
It's oh man.
Well, I'd like to say that colors are a construct in themselves, like identifying. Like I had a joke, of course, I had a bit about it.
Africa's
like how I got over racism. I got over racism with the lowest common denominator in humanity. And that sounds simple, but like the lowest common denominator is literally everything and nothing. Like it's like the 0 point. Like we all have the zero inside of us. But like if you try to go, like we all have arms. Not everyone has arms.
Like
we all use our brains. Not everyone uses their brains. Like the only real thing we have in common is like a 0 point of like awareness. So like that's how I operate. Like if you don't identify as black, white, or whatever, you identify as the whole, and then racism would stop.
But also we do need like a super. Like we also black people need like a super mega Godzilla like we do need.
I legitimately despite
big fortress right. We need a fortress to go to. We need a solitude. We need some shit. We come together, black people. Stop being divided between white skin and dark skin. Stop all this bullshit. Niggas build a fortress, niggas. They coming at us.
Man, reality.
They never stop.
Everybody will be alright.
You hit the intersectionality.
Intersectionality.
But look. What did you say?
So that we're all alike, but say that we all are.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'll give you the passcode for the nigga fortress of solitude. I'll give you the passcode. You to come through. No, we need to have separation between the people who are real, people who are phony. Like, no, they just not getting it because it's cool. No, the people who are really down for the cause. No, we need to separate that, man. We had infiltrate. We had CIA and somebody else. No, we need to infiltrate people properly. Infiltrate people. Malcolm X, nigga. That's what I'm saying. We didn't have guards.
That would lead to more shit. Anything we build can be used against us.
True.
That's why, like, you build it like from the non-racism spectrum, and then like if it's used against you, it's still like at least it's not like directly racist against you. You know, like
it's about I ain't lying because it's about
women be shopping.
Black people are cool, man. What we got going for
also,
us?
I mean,
my mother's still
when it
black.
comes down to
I don't mind the shopping.
We're like
about
head
that.
of spirituality.
It's been a great experience. You know what I'm saying? I've had some transcendent experiences in my life. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of. Shit, man. I'm proud of us.
This is it. Oh, when they see us, this is the one.
It's because I don't trust this nigga, and I don't trust this nigga.
You shouldn't trust me.
See? I know.
Straight up.
I know. I know. That's why I don't trust you.
I don't trust.
I know.
I don't trust any nigga that says flip flop. That's too flip flop. Leave it flip flop. That's too close to the stuff. Who are you, sir? You look like an artist. You play bass or something like that? You play. This is a comedy podcast. That works. That does work. That works. All right.
I don't condone none of this.
We don't condone none of this shit that's going on right now.
I'm an artist formerly known as the artist that was based on that.
All right, you went over the top on that one, but I mean,
I got a bit about that.
all right, now you trying to sell it.
We got Black Kid
People
Rock.
are selling it now. Damn it does still work. Damn.
We got Black Kid Rock.
I'll take that. Where's my menu?
No, we got Black Kenny Chesney right here on the track, getting low for a motherfucker. Got no Kenny Chesney's American cold Kevin artist. Oh man, that's the ball dude. You're right. I am racist. I get
Watch
white
the
niggas get
video.
confused. So what, nigga? What?
Watch the video. Put a counter on.
I know they named it. They don't get the names
Angry
confused.
throughout this motherfucker in all facets.
Like, I don't want to like push y'all into like plugs, but like, what are y'all up to these days? Yeah. What are you up to these days, Kamari?
Man, I'm trying to start a show. I'm trying to start a show. I haven't gotten the supreme green light, but we working, we developing it. It's gonna be what I hope to be this show that brings a lot of different flavors of people out, musicians, comedians, poets, DJs, dancers, all manner of folk. You know what I mean? But storytelling show centered around music. And that's what I've been putting a lot of energy into nowadays. So hopefully I'll be seeing that in the very near future. I like shit to develop organically, so it's not necessary for me to super duper plug it. But if you meant to know it, you're gonna find out about it. That's real actuality.
You have a name for the show yet? Oh, yeah. You have a name?
Yes.
You go as a hint, is it a secret?
No. It's called Breaking Down the Boogie.
Yeah, I like this. That's cool. With the bees that connect, breaking down.
My fellow co-host BET and Benjamin.
Oh shit! Word, DD. You got DD. Boy, plug DDT. DDT. Dope motherfucker. Shout out to BGG. Shout out to Rochelle.
It's
It's Rochelle.
comedy. Rochelle the comic, actually.
I'll be saying that.
Give me I want the whole title.
Shout out to Rochelle the comic for being our engineer. Goddamn.
How have you been, Rochelle?
I'm great. I have enjoyed every moment of this.
Cool.
Can I jump in on your poetic trip?
Wait, what about Rochelle? You got plug, Rochelle?
It's
Rochelle the comic.
love, though.
You got no shows coming up, Rochelle?
We have our show on the 20th. No Lie Comedy every third Saturday. And
Nice.
fourth Saturday is Chocolate Sundays with Ashley as your host. So we always got something going on.
I think I'm gonna be on the next Chocolate Sunday.
Oh.
What the fuck is Chocolate Sunday?
Are you
Don't
the
say it
chocolate
like
or the
Charlotte.
cherry?
I might be the cherry.
It sounds delicious when you say it on your lips. Say it again.
What the fuck is a Chocolate Sunday?
I'm saying, after she just said, I'm just saying, bro, like, that's,
You put a cherry on
you
top.
talk about seeing I'm just giving you the mirror, my dude.
Did you like it? Did you like it? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Stop hating on it because I'm stupid. That's what it is. It's like it is hate going on right now. She felt what I was saying, man. It was genuine.
But James said that white
I know how to translate what I mean.
Man, I can't wait till I'm like living out in the woods and I ain't gonna deal with motherfuckers no more. And I can just like give up on society and my family and the
I
people,
think that's
my
coming
friends.
soon.
I mean, I'm lightweight looking forward to it.
2020 is gonna be some shit.
It is gonna be some shit. I do
It
see
better
some
be
shit.
some shit.
It's gotta be some shit. 2020, that's when that division is gonna be as clear to the motherfucker.
Yeah, true.
I ain't gonna lie.
I said, like vision, like 2020
also
vision.
division.
Oh,
Also
division.
division.
So,
Division.
like 2020, you got glasses. You're a glasses.
Yeah, I'm wearing
Wait a minute.
contact.
Do you need glasses?
Yes, I'm not just a phony.
Okay,
I take this off right now. I'm like Gumbo from Scooby-Doo. Nigga, I can't fucking see fucking shit in front of me right now. I took my glasses off to be cute for the camera. I'll admit it myself. It's the cute. But actually, right now, y'all look like, you ever like white out something with the pen, but you're like out of white out pen, so you're just trying to smear it right now. I can only see colors
All right, you guys.
of t-shirts. I don't see faces. It's all blurry. I don't.
This is a special extended episode.
Thank you, Rochelle.
I got a
Thank
bit
you,
about
Rochelle.
it.
I appreciate your shit. You know,
He said
But
because
we
he's
are-
blind.
we are
as I was
closing up.
playing into it, you didn't help me out with that. All right. No, I really can't see them. No.
We are closing out the show.
I'm a good actor. You fell for it. It's okay.
Cool. The best thing is gonna be plugs. James, where can we find you and shit?
I guess if you're a tourist that comes to New Orleans, you can find me on Bourbon Street on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays doing MC work. I MC at Bourbon Bandstand on Mondays, Tuesdays, other
And
days.
he's a natural.
But yeah,
Because you said this to me.
well, only because people told me.
Sourced by James Jermaine.
Only because people told me I'm a natural. But
Not
really,
multiple sources on that.
well, all right. You can reference Corey Mack. You can reference this dude on Bourbon Street who's also MC. His name is Kelly. He's only MC on Bourbon. You have to go to Bourbon Street. People know me, man. They know me. But also, I have a show on MRBs. We're kicking it back every Tuesday now. MRBs every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Showcase comedy show. I'm there. I'm hosting. I'm doing my shit. You catch me on Beefing every third Wednesday of the month. I ain't got the text yet, but I'm pretty sure.
Come early though.
That starts like 8 or something like that. But I'm on my shit next month. I'll be on my shit. Even if I don't win, it's about me getting in there and people fucking enjoying me.
True.
The wins. I still don't win. I ain't gonna fucking. Right now, I'm thirsty for. I've been on that motherfucker for for the whole series of Friends, and I ain't never got laid yet. That's what I'm gonna get that win eventually. I'm gonna get there.
Sounds good.
Because everyone on Friends fuck each other. You know what I'm saying?
What about you?
Everyone got that W. They always, but I'm still a motherfucker like I'm like Phoebe who just married a cat. Yeah, if y'all don't watch Friends, you know Phoebe. All right. That's for the white girls in the audience. And my sister fucking other friends. I don't know.
All right. Well, that seems like the end of the plug. Is that the end?
I love you, little sis.
Nice.
Because I said a name, I had to say the final plug. Love you.
Nice. Kamari, where can we find you and your internet presences and stuff?
Just I'm on Instagram solely. I mean, I'm on Facebook too, but Instagram, Super Mario Bro, SUPERMARIBRO, and I'll be having a website coming soon, Kamari.fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all.
I'm the only person that wears your birthday pin. I wore your birthday pin last week, and you weren't even there. I just wore it because it's a cool pin. That's my name.
I guess that makes me feel good.
No, it's not that. But I don't know. I just want to show you.
Nah, I mean,
I love
design,
that pin. I love the design, but also I wouldn't wear it because I was a white man on it.
Risha? Oh, wait, we did. Okay, I guess this is, I got a bit about that. I'm your host, James, co-host.
Yeah.
I am found at Black Rocker on Twitter, Lord Black Rocker Instagram. I'm not just me.com. Yeah. This.
We're not just us.
That whole website.
We're you.
Damn.
You're us.
Level.
I got a bit about that, which can be found on bit about that.podbean.com. You can get the premium video version, which is the beginning of this and this portion on Podbean. And you can find the free feed on Free Feed Friday, the video of the guest portion, full guest portion without the edited audio. Also, the audio version is free on Podbean. Also,
yeah.
Nice.
Shit, that was loud.
Foley work. I think bit about that on Twitter and Facebook. We do cool videos. Are you the one who's been boosting the posts?
Yes.
Oh shit. He got our post like 4,000 views, and it's just a video of like water dripping on a plant. And it says bit about that every Wednesday. He's got like 3,000, 4,000 views on that shit.
I can never see what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm barely on it. I don't know what's going on. Facebook just sends me shit and notifications. I don't give a fuck Facebook. What's going on really? Like, that's what I'm saying. I want to give a plug also myself. I got a website too. I'm James Main. You can find me on www.com. Whatyoudooing.com.
What you doing?
Yes. Byron got a joke. You didn't know that shit.
I got a bit about that. Said some shit about that. Did one bit, then we out there. Talk a lot of shit. Run that. Run that cash. They got a tip bucket in the back like that. Yeah. Me and James want to add it. And you know we added. And I'm back at it. I'm on that mattress. What happened to a water mattress? Come through, put down with an actress. I better yet an actor. Come through, man. Money ain't a factor. Yeah.
That was the ending song. Hell yeah.
The king stay the king.
This has been I Got a Bit About That with Kamari Stevens. Thank you, Kamari, for being here.
Thank you.
This is an electric episode.
Thank you, James.
Shout out
my adversary, my foil. And thank y'all for partaking.
Shout out to the flash flood. It's been storming like fuck out here. You can't end like that.
Shout out to Byron looking like Indiana Jones out this motherfucker with that hat on. Did James Jermaine cut his hair off just so he can wear hats now?
Bro, yes! I was tired of looking at my hats, collecting dust and looking lonely and shit like that. I'm like, I should pay it to eat up my soul. For 4 years, eating my soul, like I never wear hats again. And now, I can wear hats again without trying hard. Oh my God. I envy women with long hair, man. I feel the struggle, man. Sleeping is a struggle. You ever try to like wake up in the morning and you can't wake up your shoulders on your hair, can't get up, it's fucking hard.
I know you can do it.
Struggle, man. Cut that shit off. It's bullshit. It's hot down here.
Like you had a point. I was like, yeah, and then y'all would just start getting upset with each other. Then it would blow up. Oh yeah.
You can't end like that.